Okay, hi everybody. Can someone just confirm that they can hear me? Sound working okay? Wait for a few more people to join. Anyone in the chat? Anybody? Oh, good. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay. I guess we'll just get started. This is going to be recorded, so hopefully, I don't think we're going to have too many people today. It's not really that sexy of a topic, but sure, we'll go and I'll answer some questions along the way. Okay, so I guess what we're here to talk about is just like the April recap, as I promised, how things went, where we're at today, and then what we're going to do in the future, and any questions as usual. So first off, April was, our first real full month. And, we're pretty happy with how it went. The first 2 weeks, as we know, we had to wait for some Elrond nodes to be unstaked in order for our nodes to become eligible and active. So that was a bit of a drag where we had some tough rewards and it was a bit frustrating, but we got through it. So thanks for everybody for sticking around and getting through it. On April 15th, we had all our nodes become active, and now we're averaging 13 to 14 nodes out of 26 eligible a day, and we're doing pretty good rewards now. So that's really awesome. We want to be always at least doing half. That's pretty well how much a validator should validate within a year in order to achieve the APR. So, anytime we're at 13 or 14 or 15, even 16, we've had 18 out of 26, I think is our highest so far, which was just an amazing day. But yeah, so we're really happy with that. And, we're moving forward, letting more people in. On that topic, we've been letting in 500 new e-gold every day at 1500 UTC, which is right now. We just did again. And they've been filling super, super, super quick, which is awesome to see. But we had said we do it up to epoch 862 or 882 or no 282. Sorry, 282. Sorry, so many numbers going around in my head today. 282, which is Saturday, I think. So we're at 7-9, which I think is Saturday. So we'll do 500 that day, and then after that we're gonna reduce down to about 150 to 200 per day until we get information on the phase 4 information or a phase 3.5 proposal that could be in the works. We don't have any details on any of that yet. But there is a proposal there to help improve APRs, and it improves the situation for all agencies out there. So we're going to keep adding every day just a little bit. I think it's really important for the network. We think internally adding people in is a good thing. We have been losing some people here or there, but that stuff gets filled up super quick. Our APR will go down with adding, but it won't go down as fast. We'll still be adding. And once we get news of the actual proposal of 3.5 or phase 4 or phase 3.5, we will readjust from there. For now, I think it's really important that we let more people in and provide that value to the network, as I've said. I'll answer any questions on that in a minute. I'm sure you guys have a lot. What else do we have going on? The reserves fund has been created. I'll share the address in Telegram. This month we saved 6.15 e-gold. So we're, what is that? It's about 1%, a little bit more than 1% of our way to 500 e-gold. I have had some people reach out and ask me if we consider maybe turning that into a stable coin and holding something like BUSD in our reserves instead. And I actually think that's an extremely good idea. And we just got to maybe try and time when we'll do that. I don't think we're going to do anything like that at this time, but it's open for discussion. And I think, when this super cycle and stuff gets going, I think it might be a good idea for us to hold the reserves fund in stable in case of another crypto winter or something that goes a bit deep. This way we don't lose the volatility of the coin, and we'll have a nice reserves there to cover us and maintain good rates across the board. Okay, I guess that is it. Well, what's going on in May? In May, it's a lot more calm now, so we're able to do a few more things. We have a episode. We're going to be hosting Helios Staking. Will be hosting episode 3 of Elron Talks. I'll release information on who the guest is and all that. We just got to hammer down a time. So it'll be on this channel sometime next week. Elron Talks #1 was a really good success. Really enjoyed doing it with Eddie. Eddie and Jose are going to be talking on Friday, so go check that out. And yeah, like I said, episode 3 will be hosted on Helios Stake with myself and a guest, where we'll be talking about actually building on the network and that sort of stuff. So stay tuned for information on that. And what else in May? I'm working. We're working, helping get a merch store up for the Warriors. So hopefully we can get that launched out in May, and people can start buying some merch with their eGold. We've integrated Now Payments, which is a partner of Elron, into the store, so you can actually pay with eGold and get some merch. There'll be Helios merch on there for you to buy and that sort of stuff as well. And that sort of thing. Details on how that will work and the URL and everything will be released when it's ready. But that's underway as well. And then finally, I think this month I'm gonna start trying to set up an education portal. I don't know if any of you guys out there have seen eGold Life. They're starting to do some tutorials in partner with Elron Warriors. We think this is super awesome. It's amazing to see. And them coming together and building tutorial videos. So it's kind of inspired me to do something that I've wanted to do, and Mark as well. So I think we'll do some tech stuff, maybe a Linux guide, maybe a guide to how to run a node and all that sort of stuff, and help giving some education on the tech side as well. So yeah, it's exciting times. We're still really happy. We can't be happier with everyone that's here and the support we have, and as usual, the DMs and everything. Thanks for sticking by us as usual, and let's go on into the next month. And I think we can probably start with some questions if anybody has them out there. So if you want to answer some questions, we're only 12 people. I didn't really expect too many people today, on the basis of it's just not really the sexiest topic. It's just news. I'll put this into a small little Medium post or something as well later this week, and I'll release the address to the reserves fund and all that sort of stuff as well. eGold Hold saying the more education the better. I absolutely agree. I think it's something that I personally neglected. I mean, I don't think I neglected it on purpose. I don't think Mark did either. I think we had novel plans to be educating while building the network and building our community. But I mean, the amount of time we actually had was not that much. But now we're starting to see a lot more support from the community. Things are starting to run. We can start doing a few other things now. And yeah, I think just educating people on what they can do is paramount now. And it's what will take us to the next level. I'd love to see a tutorial on the hardware and how you run a node. That would be very interesting. Yeah, Stephen, I think I've been asked this before. Bogdan asked me once as well, and I honestly think that's probably one of my next projects, is to actually do a deep dive into how we do it. Not just here's how you run a node. I think kind of like a tutorial series of 5 or 6 different videos that walk you through each and every single step. There's a lot you need to actually learn. It's not just as easy as going to, the docs in Elron and saying, I'm going to copy and paste this in, and then I'm going to be running a node. There's so much more to it. You need to know how to choose a server. You need to know how to run Linux. You need to just know little small maintenance things. There's a whole host of things that you need to understand. Monitoring, key management, redundancies. And I think that's information that could be very beneficial for the community, and just to see it through the eyes of Helios Staking and how we do it. Everyone's a little bit different, but we've all been chosen because we all have the same procedures that are industry standard. So thank you for that question. Yeah. Oh, good morning, Rico. I love your good mornings and everything. You're such a positive influence out there. It's awesome. So good morning to you. And it's evening here now. It's 5 o'clock here. So we're all over the place, right? So yeah, I mean, short stream, I guess. It's not really much to say more. Just update everything. Oh, here's some more. So also, can we see the work behind the scenes? What do you mean in sense of work behind the scenes? Do you want to kind of know what we do on a daily basis? Like, how would you want me to present that? That's a good question. I'd love to open up the hood and show you what goes on. I'm perfectly happy showing you how things work. Yeah. Okay. Well, like, so I think the tutorial in general will kind of show you what it is we do on a day-to-day basis, just on the basis of what's going on. I mean, maybe it's a good idea to do, a 5-minute video, just kind of a day in the life, maybe, that sort of thing. But when you actually see the tutorial of running an Elrond node and what goes into all that, you're actually going to see what we do every day, and you are going to see the work, because that is primarily what we do is monitoring our nodes. Mark is always looking for better ways to represent our data and look for bottlenecks. We're always improving our infrastructure. I actually forgot to mention, this past month we also upgraded all our servers. We went pretty well 4x on all spec per node. So our nodes are now running 4 times the spec for each one. So they're super strong. They're running, they're purring and humming away. So we were running at about a 2.5x for most things before, and we decided with Myar coming and all the potential of that, we upgraded that as well, to just stronger, better, faster. Daft Punk, right? But yeah, Stephen, I have no problem showing whatever it is you want to see. It's I'm an open book. Mark's an open book. You can always ask us whatever you want. I don't really believe in not sharing the information, because you never know. And any one of you out there maybe one day might be able to do this, and just from just learning one bit at a time. So we will do this for May. So if there's anybody else, any more questions, anything to comment on, I'm here. You can say anything you want. If not, I'll just shut down the stream for today. Well, Stephen, yeah, just want to know how hard it is to be a validator. Well, yeah, Stephen, it's funny. I remember my first days of validator, and you could actually run it in Windows at the time, and I put it on my desktop, and I walked away, and then I came back and it was offline, and I was like, what's going on here? And I didn't really understand what was going on, and yeah, I was like, this is going to be really hard. And I almost, to be honest, I almost said, this isn't, I don't have it in me to do this. And it was just this crazy lack of confidence just because of that first one. And then I discovered, yeah, Windows was getting kicked out the door and it was going to Linux. So I went right to Linux almost instantly, and then just started building and running validators and talking to people. And was it hard at the time? Yeah, I definitely felt overwhelmed at times, and I'd panic, but they weren't real panics. They weren't justified. You know what I mean? There was just me being like, oh, if I don't get this up, and some people would spend a day or two trying to put their server up. If I wouldn't have mine up in an hour, I was panicking, and that's actually a sign, a good sign, which means that I deserve. I want our network up quick. I want to be able to do upgrades fast. I think since the very beginning, for upgrades of the network, I think we've always been within the first 30 minutes, maybe even an hour max. We've never ever went any longer than that, because I don't know, I'm just weird like that. Once it's done, I need it done, and I just get all panicky. So, okay, but you do a nice job of it. Oh, thanks, Stephen. Yeah, I guess it was just something that kind of happened, and I worked hard at it. And yeah, I think anyone can be a validator if you have a little bit of tech knowledge and have the willing to learn and just have a bit of attention to detail. I mean, it's like building it's like building a model car or something like that. You get the instructions. Do you throw the instructions out and then try and build the car, or do you actually read the instructions twice before you even start building the car? And running a validator is read the instructions 4 or 5 times before you even think about opening the plastic to even build the car. So if you have that intention to detail and patience, anyone can do it. It's just it takes time to actually be fully aware of what it is you're doing. Do you need 12 or 50? If you want to become a private validator, you need 2,500 e-gold. If you want to run your own, if you want to run a staking provider contract, you need 1,250. But you won't have a node placed into the queue until you get 2,500 e-gold delegated to you. And then on top of that, you're going to want at least 500 to 1,000 e-gold in buffer for when people come and go, because you don't want your node being unstaked. So the barrier to entry is quite high at this point. It's something that, I mean, we all didn't think was going to happen so quickly. We're super happy it did, and it's great that it's still going that way. It's something that it's tough to get into now for that reason. And maybe down the line there'll be solutions. I know there's a few groups of people out there who came together with small amounts of e-gold in order to create their own small little family style smart contract delegation dashboard or sharing validators. So there's always that option, but there's smart it can all be done. But like running an observer doesn't cost anything. So actually learning how to run a node doesn't cost anything except your server costs for the month and time. We're running at about 95 euros to 100 euros per server per month, per node actually. Per month, and yeah, so you'd have to spend that, and then whatever your time is worth to you, then you'd have to factor in. So yeah, and anybody else out there? Questions, comments, concerns? All good then. I think we'll close it up. Thanks for everyone for coming as usual. It just wasn't, the craziest of sexiest of topics, but I just promised, and we'll always do a monthly update like this for people to watch and just get an idea of what happens. I'll make sure I'll keep everything at the front for the news, questions at the back. Like I said, stay tuned for the next the next Elrond Talks. That's with Jose and Eddie, and then there'll be one hosted by here on this channel. As well with a guest where we'll be talking about building and that sort of stuff. Yeah, and that's it. Let's get May, and yeah, I'll at least have 2 more streams probably this month. I said I'll always do 2. I'll do one for an hour on talks, and then maybe we'll think of a topic. Maybe I could do some kind of live stream where I kind of just walk through kind of a mock setup of Helios. I don't think I'd be showing you guys our actual setup for security reasons, but I can build a clone of it on another laptop and walk you through that. Maybe, I mean, that might be really beneficial. So just be kind of a ghost setup, but it'll be set up exactly like how ours is set up. I'll be doing that for the tutorials anyways. It'll just be kind of a generic user, generic setup, and we'll set it up and show you guys how that works. So yeah, let's have a good month. And again, thanks to everybody. And yeah, see you on the other side, guys.